Pronouns. This is actually what is the pronouns and what we need to know about the pronouns. Okay, so pronouns is divided in different types. But before that, what is like a pronoun? Pronoun is like an element, okay? We use it in a sentence, okay? And it is one of the part of a speech. يعني هو جزء من أجزاء الكلام اللي بنستخدمها باللغة الإنجليزية. But there's a different types of pronouns. So, first of all, okay, we have a personal pronoun. اللي نعرفها personal pronoun, it is like when you talk about subject, object, okay. We have a possessive pronoun اللي ضمائر التملك. We have demonstrative pronoun اللي هسه راح نشوفها. Reflexive, okay, interrogatives, relatives, indefinite pronouns, okay. So we have basically it's 8 types of a pronoun. Now if we talk about like a personal pronoun, personal pronoun is either it can be like a subject pronoun or it is like a object pronoun. If we talk about the subject pronoun, basically this it's just like I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. All these is subject pronoun. While for object we use me, you, him, her, it, you, you and them. One thing that you have to know that the subject pronoun, the object pronoun, لازم شي تعرفوا بين object pronouns come all the time after the verb and after the preposition. يعني أما تجي بعد الفعل أو تجي بعد حرف الجر. Okay, this is the difference. And one thing that you have, all these basically just used for a human. كلها تستخدم للhuman. لكن الشيء الاختلاف الوحيد it with they قد تكون flexible. We can use it for a human or non-human. it where we have to use it as like non-human. أول شيء it نستخدمها for object, for things, for animals. But sometimes we use it with the baby. Okay, why we use it for the baby? If we don't know the gender of the baby, يعني ممكن نستخدمها بين نشير للطفل إذا كنا ما نعرف ونقصد البيبي is like a newborn baby اللي هو طفل حديث الولادة. إذا كنا ما نعرف اللي هو شنو وما نعرف اللي like the gender، ما نعرف جنس الطفل. Or also we use it, okay, and be careful when you refer previously about the thing and then you come back, okay. Use it to avoid repetition. أو مثلا أنا أستخدم it إذا أول شيء ذكرت object أو thing that I wanna like to talk about and then مرت له حتى avoid repetition, so I use it. And even the same thing with they. Like for example, the research, okay, the research is very new. The research is very new. البحث الصار جدا يكون حديث. Okay, that is why I need to investigate about it. That I need to investigate about it. لهذا السبب أنا لازم أتحرى عنه. So the first time a reader القارئ and listener سامع هو عرف أنت تقصد على it refer to the researcher, and then I use it because when I try to use the research is brand new or is very new, that is why I need to investigate the researcher. This is gonna be a weak word غريب احنا بنستخدم في الشيء باللغة الإنجليزية. So I use first of all I use the research. بالمرة الثانية من أذكر the research استخدمت it. But if you use it directly فهذه راح يكون a weak word. Also one thing I want you like to focus on like basically on it also we use for time, we use for weather, we use for temperature. يعني احنا نستخدم الوقت للtemperature لدرجة الحرارة نستخدمها for weather. Like for example, it is cold today. فأني both like me and the speaker or the listener and me, okay, we understand we are talking about the weather, الجو. It is 5 o'clock. So when I say it's 5 o'clock, I cannot say the time is 5 o'clock. No, I just refer because I understood I'm talking about the time. If I say it is 100 degrees, okay? So I understand that it is a temperature. So in this way we use it. Okay, and without even refer to the temperature and weather, or even with talk about time, because this is already understood، لأن هي راح تكون مفهومة بدون الإشارة إليها. غيرها لازم you have to refer to it. So as I said, like we use it to introduce, as I said, to talk about weather, temperature, time, distance. فبهاي الحالة الوحيدة اللي ما يحتاج أني أشير أولا بعدين أستخدم it. So it's raining. I know that the weather. Okay, it will probably be a hot tomorrow. I know that I'm talking about the weather. It is it 9 o'clock yet? I'm talking about the time. It is 5 kilometers from here. I'm talking about distance. Okay, so it is understood without referring to it. Otherwise ما عدا هذه الحالات لازم تشير انت للكلمة يلا بعدين تستعيض عنها بالضمير. Possessive pronoun, guys. Possessive pronoun, we have like two. أكو misunderstood. Like for example, when I say my book, my car, or mine. الاختلاف اللي راح يكون من أني أستخدمها by itself ترى تعامل معاملة من استخدمها ويا كلمة ويا noun تعامل معاملة adjectives. Like if I say my car or my math test, فهنا my it just come to describe which car, or for example to describe which test. فلهذا السبب إذا اجتي possessive pronoun هي my, our, their, her, his، إذا اجتي with noun هي هم تعتبر pronoun بس يعتبر موقعها كصفة، لكن إذا اجتي by itself so it is like okay it is a pronoun. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so it is used here when I talk about male female. Okay, so say my or yours or his. Okay, if it is come by itself. Ours, yours, theirs إذا جتي وحدها. Okay, but if it is come with noun, this is treated as adjectives and it should be like come with a noun. Like for example, for singular, like my book, your book, his book or her book or its book. Okay, for plural, our book, your book, their book. Okay, so basically this, if it's come with the noun, is gonna this form. If it is come without a noun, should be mine, should be yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. فهنا ما تحتاج any noun يجي بعدها إضافة إلى هي تكون by itself، بس لازم إحنا مشيرين لها سابقا. It's like for example, whose like naughty book is this? So if I say it's mine, so this is I refer to mine. I don't need like to repeat again and say okay it is my naughty book now. Okay, so while here if I say it, like if I say it is my naughty book, so here my naughty book, this is my is pronoun but it's treated here as adjectives تعاملت كمعاملة الصفة because it's refer to like okay to the naughty book. Okay, so إذا جت يا ضمائر البوسيسيف بحدها فراح تكون هذا وحدها تكون هذا الفورم. إذا جتي along with noun هي الاسم راح تكون هذا الفورم. Now let's come to reflexive and emphatic like pronouns. طبعا هو بالكتاب ذاكرك مختصر على possessive ومختصر على personal pronoun. احنا راح ناخذ الصورة كاملة على كل pronouns that help us to improve our like language skills, especially in writing and speaking. خلينا نشوف شنو reflexive pronouns. طبعا reflexive pronouns it's used as an active voice. اللي هي شنو active voice دائما تكون مبني المعلوم and it's accompanied by antecedent اللي هي تكون ملحق إضافة لها and of course it's take like a different position. خلينا نشوف شنو reflexive pronoun قد تكون myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Like for example, I come by myself. Okay, it is solved, the problem is solved by itself. Okay, they cooked the dinner themselves. فهنا reflexive تكون ضمائر شو تكون تعكس who's like okay the subject. Okay, فهنا نستخدم like with self. So this is basically what we call like a reflexive. And why we use it? For emphasize. حتى نأكد على استخدامه. حتى نأكد who's like the subject or who's like the person or thing that we are like talk about. الجمع راح تكون selves, of course, like ourselves, yourselves, themselves. Like for example, why do you blame yourself? I saw myself in the mirror. So here just like emphasize who's like the doer of the action. Also like to emphasize more, yeah, exactly. For demonstrative pronoun, this is another type of a pronoun. اللي هي شنو الضمائر demonstrative pronoun اللي هي تكون this, that or these. طبعا this هي singular، البلورال هتكون these. that هو نستخدمها for far للبعيد تكون هي singular، those هي تكون الجمع. عندنا for example the، okay, the former, the later, okay, the first, the last, the other, the others, same, such, so all these is demonstrative pronoun. Okay, we use it. For example, here, this tastes good. Maybe we talk about food. Okay, or these are bad times. هنا for plural. That's beautiful, or those we are bad days. Okay, فهنا نستخدمها دائما هاي demonstrative pronouns this with that دائما تكون في بداية الجملة most of the time, or even like to give more explanation about things. Okay, now we have interrogative pronouns. So what I mean interrogative pronouns? Interrogative pronouns اللي هي بنستخدم الهو or الهوم or what, which, whose. But here I don't use it, okay, as adjectives. Okay, it's just like I try to ask about who's the subject or who's the object or who or what is the action. For example, اللي احنا نسميها W question word. Like for example, who told you? Okay, or whom did you tell? Okay, or what's happened? Okay, or sometimes for example, you didn't tell me who broke that, okay, or who broke that. Okay, فهذه احنا نستخدمها كيكون سؤال مباشر او غير مباشر، فهي تعتبر interrogative pronoun اللي هي نستخدمها ل get information. Okay, especially in a question. While relative pronoun, okay, اللي حكينا عليها الهو والwhose والwhich والthat، هذه مجرد اني حتى اربطها بالجملة الثانية حتى اعطي more explanation، حتى اعطي يكون شرح افضل. يعني على سبيل المثال، okay, the person who phoned me last night is my teacher. يعني انا اذا قلت the person okay is my teacher it is understood، بس أنا أخلي who phone me just to give more explanation على الشخص اللي who's doer that, like who do the action. The car, if I say the car was yellow, it's fine, it's grammatically correct, but I use which here to give me of course what, to give me more explanation حتى تعطيني اللي هو شرح يعني أكثر عن الشيء that I refer to. فهنا الwhich تستخدم for what؟ دائما نستخدمها for non-human. الهو تستخدم for human only. while الهوم اللي هي دائما تستخدم للobject. يعني على سبيل المثال the person اوكي. whom لازم اني اخلي subject بعده بالجملة حتى اني اقصد على اللي يكون مفعول به. like the person whom I phoned last night is my teacher. يعني هو منو سوى الاكشن؟ انا اللي خابرت، بس الشخص اللي منو خابرته is like my teacher. فهنا different than who هنا دا اسال من الشخص اللي خابرني، while whom that I'm asking about من الشخص اللي اني اتصلت به. اوكي. للتملك اللي هي حتى تعطيني more information about things that we own, like the car whose okay driver jumped out. نادى تعبر لي السيارة اللي مالكها whatever just before like was completely destroyed. Okay, so all these is just like give more details. يعني هاي كلها ما كل هو اللي يسموها relatives اللي مجرد تعطيني تفاصيل تربط لي اياها ما بين جملتين. اذا مجرد شلت هذا البروناون وهي بقية الجملة فهي الجملة كاملة grammatically، بس ثاني اضيفها حتى تعطيني more details واكثر حتى تقلل الكتابة مالتي. مو كان اعطي تفصيل. على سبيل المثال اقول okay the car the driver of the car okay jumped out before the accident and the car was destroyed. هاي مجرد راح تعطيني more like it's just like more additional details that I don't need. so هنا حتى اربط جملة انا بجملة فش استخدم اللي هذه يسموها ضمائر relatives pronouns اللي هي الهو استخدمها للشخص only. للتملك اللي حتى اعبر هذا الشيء يعود لي شيء اخر اوكي او شيء او انسان اخر فاستخدم هوز. عندي الهوم من اني دا اعبر اوريدي دا اعطي مور شرح على الاوبجكت فاستخدم هوم. while which تستخدم for non-human. Okay, while here we have another like reciprocal okay pronoun that we use also in English. It is when you use like each other or one another, each other or one another. Okay, so these basically these two words we use together okay to refer to pronoun. Okay, for example John Mary loves each other, so it's come together like each other. Okay, or for example the 10 prisoners were all blaming one another. Okay, each other okay one another. Okay, so this is basically is like two pronouns. It's just like give us like a meaning of for example each other okay and or one another. Okay, هذه تقريبا هي نفس المعنى but here is just like give me is more details. Okay, and definite pronouns okay here it doesn't refer to any specific person. هنا definite pronouns ما راح تضيف تشير الى اي شيء مثل البقية البروناونز ولا للاشياء او المقدار او wherever, but it is like here it is not definite. يعني هنا تكون بغير محددة اللي هي مثل ايش؟ مثل another هنا ما محددة. انا ما حددت منه. anybody, anyone, anything, each, other, anybody, everyone. like for example here everybody, everything, much, neither, no one. فهذه ما تشير يسموها indefinite غير محددة. نفس الحالة من استخدم both or many or other or several ويا الجمع or with two. فهذه ما تشير نسميها indefinite. اوكي، فقد تكون مثلا على سبيل المثال all، بس خلوا هاي النقطة مهمة. اوكي، all والany والmost والnone والsome can be singular أو plural based on what? depend on what? on the phrase that follow them. تعتمد على الجملة اللي سبقته. Okay, so you have to be careful. Like for example, he has one job in the day and another. So here another is referred to the second job, but we don't know what is the job. So that is why you say indefinite. At night, I would like another drink, please. فهنا another Okay, another drink, but we didn't specify which drink, so this is indefinite. So guys, this is the most important like adjectives that you have to focus on. Okay, and unit 4 in your book is just like focus on some of them, while I give like most or basically all of them, just like help you to know how to use it correctly.